I'd like for you to reiterate that.
Yeah. That's a great lead-in because I want the citizens of Galveston that are not here to know that we have about 2,000 that stayed that still want to leave, and we're making arrangements now to take them, with your help, to either Austin or San Antonio. So that ought to send you a strong message not to come back. If you were to come back, you can't flush your toilet. We don't have anywhere to send it. You don't have any water to drink. You say, I'll drink bottled water. We don't have any water for showers. We don't have any power. I talked to Centerpoint, Keith Gray. They are working very hard to get UTMB back on board. That's the #1 priority. It's going to be at least 1 week before UTMB is back up and running, and they're in line first. So that ought to tell you if you wanted to come back. On top of that, if you got here and you're driving your car around, you're going to get a flat. There's nobody here to fix your flat. There are no grocery stores open. There's no service stations open. I don't think you really want to come back to this. Not now. So please wait until the mayor opens the doors. We're going to make sure it's at least habitable. At this point, it's really not.
Great. Mr. LeBlanc, thank you very much. Let me introduce Steve McCraw to you. Steve is our Homeland Security Director. And Steve, actually, more than a statement, I'd like to just open it up to any questions that you may have for Steve. And Jack Hawley run our State Operations Center. He is the most direct official with the state that's overseeing our not only search and rescue, but soon recovery effort that's actually ongoing as we speak. Steve McCraw.
By the way, I want to say first and underscore what the governor said is priority 1 is search and rescue. We're doing that today. And we're not going to stop around the clock. Thus far, 394 by air have been rescued. And overall, 1,948 citizens down here have been rescued. With that, questions?
Is that after the storm, those rescues?
Yes.
Is that Galveston or all of South?
That's all of South, including Orange. That's by air, land, and also by water.
What was the total number again?
1,948.
And 194 in Galveston?
No, 394 by air.
300.
Yes, sir. Also,
He asked specifically about Galveston.
oh, Galveston, we don't have specifics on Galveston. I'll get back with that exact number.
Do we know what that fell in
When you
Galveston?
rescue them?
Well, they're obviously distraught, fatigued, and of course, #1 is what the governor talked about, a secondary evacuation. I mean, we got next to 2,000, the city manager talked about 2,000 people to take out. We've got 125 buses in place here on the island to move them out. We've got 25 of them are paramedic buses. We've got a strike force ambulance team coming in? Two that are coming in because we have special needs and also medical special needs right here. They're here, and we got to get them out. That's priority 1. Priority 3, the mayor talked about, city manager, is power. Power is essential. There can't be recovery until you have power. And in Galveston, that means also natural gas. So she's given us some homework from the state standpoint. The governor's giving me a task. I'm going to go back and work that issue right now.
Can we talk about loss of life here on Galveston Island, please?
Right now, there's been no confirmed loss of life.
Well, I mean, I think there's enough people saying that may or may not be the case.
Okay, well, I'll pass that to the local elected officials to make that
If someone can tell us,
announcement.
because there are reporters who saw a body today.
I can.
Good.
It's not confirmed for sure, but we understand with about 3 bodies that we know of. We're searching every structure from one end of the island to the other, and until that assessment is completed, we won't have an exact number. But at this point, we've been told that 3 is the number.
And where were they and what circumstances?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Well, it means a flooding death, it's a natural death. Were they trapped in their homes?
Until the medical examiner examines, I'm not going to answer that question.
And
How much of the island?
there's next of kin issue. There's next of kin.
How much of the island do you think has been searched at this point?
All of it has been searched by air and by water, but there's a grid search going on right now, door by door.
Right.
There's an effort to knock on every door, get into every place and locate, see if anyone was trapped, to rescue them, and unfortunately, in some cases, maybe recovery. We pray that's not the case.
Steve, what about Bolivar? We heard that there was a situation during the eye of the storm where there were actual rescue attempts on Bolivar. Were those successful, and are there any casualties on
Yeah,
that?
they were successful, and I don't want to get into the casualties. I want to make that clear. That's something the local officials will determine, and there's next to kin issues as well. There were, as noted before, some recalcitrant individuals that were on Bolivar Island that we rescued, and not, in fact, put first responders in harm's way, but we got them out of there anyway.
But if we have, and I don't mean to interpret too many tea leaves here, but if you have next of kin issues on Bolivar Peninsula, that means you have some loss of life.
I don't want to get into any of the Bolivar or the loss of life issue. That's something the local officials will announce when it's appropriate.
What about supplies coming into Galveston? Food, water, ice, is that coming in?
Absolutely.
Because we've seen people lined up waiting for this.
Well, we've got regional staging areas, and the closest one to here, where do we put that, David? Where do we put that? Yeah, where's our new RSA?
It's going to be at Ball High School.
Okay.
We're going to have one at the Island Transit Center.
Okay, and we're going to push those pods, and we got water coming in,
Correct.
and certainly ice.
We've got confirmation on the water and ice, and the third one is going to be located at UTMB.
Okay, and that's where our pods, and from that we'll have pods located, our points of distribution, and there will be sufficient water, food, ice, and fuel, because emergency responders need fuel, so those things will keep forward deployed in this area, and certainly the mayor and the county judge will levy those requirements, and we'll take care of it. The governor's made sure that all things will be coming here, and of course we've got our federal resources if we run out.
Steve, what do you say to those who might suggest that this should have happened sooner, some of these supplies, these asset shows?
Now, you can never get it here too fast, and we realize that, and there's going to be a frustration. I'll tell you, the longer the power goes out, we've got 2.8 million people without power, 2.1 million people out of that in Houston area. And with power, you got to have water treatment, and there's your access to water. If you don't have those in place, that's one of the reasons the secondary effects of the disaster is that the second disaster is when you don't have the support structure to take care of people, and you have some of our most fragile, whether they're nursing homes, hospice, in-home health care. Those are the ones you got to, when you move them, it's very fragile. And of course, the longer they are, whether it's oxygen or not, we need to get to them and get them out of there. And that is something we're very mindful of, and that's why we're saying search and rescue is ongoing.
Now, are those supplies here, now the food, water, and ice? I know you say it's coming. Is it actually here now, or
Yes.
will it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's here. Yeah.
Yes.
Steve, for some of the Galveston people that may be in shelters in Austin and watching this on television, they're hearing, we cannot come back to Austin.
Yes.
We don't want to stay in a shelter any longer. We can't afford to stay in a hotel or a motel for at least a month. What are their options right now?
Their options, obviously, Austin's the host city. We will run these shelters as long as we need. Texans are going to take care of Texans. That's the directive that we have, and we'll find a way. And you know what? It's a great state, and people are very hospitable. And if we want to run out of room in one place, I guess El Paso, Amarillo, Lubbock, San Antonio.
Let me, Steve, and let me address the issue of those individuals for individual assistance from the federal government, for instance. I asked the President directly yesterday morning for approval of a declaration that would allow for that full reimbursement for our individual assistance. Certainly that request is going to be made multiple times to Secretary Chertoff, both to Senator Cornyn and Senator Hutchison, to assist us in retrieving those federal dollars, which quite frankly, will be very important to those individuals that you just talked about and for those local governments. I can assure you that the mayor is going to be very adamant as she says we need to have 100% of those costs, particularly on individual assistance, because there's going to be some that are out for long periods of time, like you said, 30 days possibly. I don't know, maybe longer, maybe less, but the fact is we have a process in place. And again, I hope that we're treated just as fairly as our neighbors to the east when Hurricane Katrina hit, and that the state of Texas can full well expect to have that type of treatment during this hurricane that has obviously done monumental damage to not only this island, but to the city of Houston and southeast Texas.
You said you searched by air. What about the West End? We've gotten a lot of calls about the West End. Can you get in there? Have you been able to see?
Well, yeah, we have been, and of course that's why we've got our Texas Navy, Texas Parks and Wildlife here. Clearly Coast Guard, our partners there are helping it. We have to getting in, like I said, There's not a square foot of Galveston Island, and for that matter, Southeast Texas, will not be searched, and when people are found, rescued.
Well, what have you seen on the west end in terms of the flooding from by air? I mean, is the water receding? Is it?
I haven't looked at actually that, so I'm not going to give you feedback on that. But I will say this: the reports of Texas Task Force 1, who are on the ground that have seen it, said it's devastating.
Can Steve talk a little bit about the west end, do you mind?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I personally flew over it yesterday and at about 4 o'clock, and the west end was, from 11 Mile Road west, was still flooded, still underwater. The devastation is horrendous. I counted at least 30 homes that were out in the water. I saw homes that were picked up off the piling and set down alongside the piling. I saw massive erosion that's occurred, and obviously tons and tons and tons of debris. Interestingly enough, we saw cattle that survived. Must have swam around all night, but they swam and they were out walking around. That's the only life I saw on the west end of the island. So there's your
You don't
assessment.
think they stayed on the west end?
I don't know. We were taking calls for quite a long time during the height of the storm, and certainly at one point we lost all communication with the west end. So we know there were people, some out there. What happened to them, I'm not sure at this point.
Texas Task Force 1 is searching east to west, it says. So
That's
what's your
correct.
estimation of when they'll get to the west?
They told this process will take 2 days to complete.
So by tomorrow night, we should know.
We should know
about the west end.
some answers.
And Steve, do we know if the seawall has been compromised in any way?
The very western tip of the seawall has been compromised a bit, washout basically, and that's as far as I know, as far as the seawall's integrity.
What does that mean?
No power, no water, no communication do not come on to Galveston Island. They describe a scene of absolute devastation. Hurricane Ike there, in Houston, in many parts of southern Texas has done monumental damage. You heard that there may still be people out there. All of the search and rescue efforts have not happened. 2.8 million people without power, 2.1 million of them in the Houston area. We're going to keep you posted on the devastation caused by Hurricane Ike. Keep it here on MSNBC.